as you might know, we are a family company, and we try to keep it like this. We have started with my wife in 94, 95, 96. It's always good to remember that we start the whole thing with not even $10,000. And when we see where we end up today and keeping the control of the company, we are really proud of this. The second thing we are really proud of is that our son, Julian, now is taking over more and more of the work at the company. He started Manera by himself 10 years ago, and now he's feeling confident to take over F1. So while I got 60 years old this year, and I'm quite happy that Julian is able to take over more and more work, so we can start to retire with my wife. But don't worry, my passion about the sport, about R&D, will always be, and I will always be there and try to manage that all the products are always what we would like, and they are always on the right direction. So, in clear, Julian is the future boss. We love R&D. In fact, I have started the company to assume my passion about R&D. So we love to make products, and then we have to sell them so we can make some money to make more R&D. You know, we start by the R&D, we start by doing the right product, and then we try to sell what we love. And we don't do reverse, like try to make a product just to sell it. We start by doing the product we love, and then we try to sell them. That's different. We don't like to buy things outside, because if your passion is to develop product, why you should buy product from another designer from outside F1? So everything you see is made in-house, and it looks like normal, but it's not. When I look at all the company around us, many products are not made by the company, they buy it from outside. So everything is developed from design to construction. All the development is made by us and our team. So we always have a joke at the company is that there is no R&D budget. No one knows how much we spend until the end of the year, so there is almost no limit. Because when you have a passion, you don't really count, you know. So R&D is a priority. We have a budget for everything, but not for R&D. One big principle we have is that we have to follow the trend, of course, because customers want always to have the latest product. But sometimes we are a little bit late because we are taking our time to do the things perfectly. So sometimes we are a little bit late on the release, and it's because we've been spending more time on the development. So when the product is out, it should last like one year is too short, but we have some product like the Phantom, for example, for foils, or the Escape. The Escape is maybe a 4 or 5 years old design, and it's still on the market, and it's still an excellent product. So if you look at our range, like the 7 Seas, the Phantom, the Eagle, they can be on the market and on the water for 2, 3, or 4 years. And we learned that when you do something well, you don't have to redo it after. If you do it too fast and you do it wrong, every year you have to restart the development, make new molds, make a new communication about it. So for Kite, like the Bandit, we change it every year because it's an important model. But some bows and foils, they have to be there and stay a long time on the market. and be performant. And it's as well important that when you have a range like the foils, they fit together as well. So if you have a 7Cs, then you can have a Phantom, a Skate, a Eagle, and they all fit together. If you have a model that is finished after 6 months because it's not properly done, then you have a problem in your range and everyone has to change product and it's getting complicated. So it's one of our goals. It's a balance between innovation and be able to have a product that lasts as long as possible. In the past, I was responsible of too many products, and because now we have so many disciplines and sports, we need testers and we need more people into the R&D. And the tactic we are following now is to have specialists that are able to test and give the right feedback, you know. There is a difference between a provider and a provider that can test and give the right feedback. So we are looking for the best riders, of course, but we need them to be able to be good testers and good developers. So now we have also Charles Bordel is a kitefoil world champion, but is as well becoming a designer now. So it's good for us to have more people involved into the R&D, some new fresh blood. Robert, our kite and wing designer, is 65 or 66 years old now, so we need some new people with more energy. So we are looking for some specific riders in each discipline that can give a really good feedback on the product. Of course, we have to work on the designs, but now in kites and wings, we have a need to develop new materials, especially for the wings, because they in between a kite, there's a windsurf sail, and something in between that need new materials. So at the beginning, we had to pick up the material that's in stock in every factory. But now I have the chance to be able to develop my own material. So we have two development coming. You have seen the high-text this year, and we have a new high-text coming for next year for the wings. It's heavier Dacron. So we work on the Dacron because it's a really good material. If you compare the price to the performance, it's still the best you can find. But we improve it and we adapt it to the wings more and more. And we are working also on the laminate. Laminate is what you see today, like the Alula, the Okipa, and all those X-plies. So we have the chance there to have a Sail Plus factory that is following our demand and making our own development. The laminates, they're like a little bit of cooking, you know. You choose the outside film and you choose the fiber that you will put inside, the direction of the fiber, the type of fiber, is it UP, polyester, and then another film or another woven material. So it's quite complicated to develop a laminate because you have 1,000 solutions in front of you with many different costs and prices. So it takes time. I don't want to take something that is already done for sailing or sail yacht and things like this. We need something that is made for winging or kiting. So it takes time. We have really good results, and I'm really happy because we like a bit like two times more expensive than Dacron, while some material like alula is 5 or 6 times more expensive than Dacron. So it's a little bit difficult for us to go to the material like the alula that are so expensive. I think we will be able to find something almost as good, but with a much lower cost. But it takes time. We need to develop, and the long-term testing, the durability, it's always few months. So every time you have a new material, you like the performance, then you get into the long-term testing, and then it doesn't last, and you have to start again and again. So that's why for now our offer is only on that one, and we play the safe game on that, but don't worry, we are working on the rest as well. Keeping the price fair is an important target for us. Of course, our market and sport change a lot. Now we really have 3 sports in our head with Julien. Of course, kite is still our priority. Some people always think that we forget about living kiting, but this is not true. We're still practicing, we're still developing. Wings, of course, since almost 5 years now, we want to be a wing leader on the market and a wing innovator as well. And foil is becoming really a discipline for us, from kiting to downwinding. Downwind is something that we want to develop at the maximum. So it's a challenge because you have to compete with the specialists from all those sports. So we are facing pure foil brands or wing brands or kite brands that have only one thing to concentrate on, and we need to be concentrated on the development of all those products. So it's quite a challenge, and this is as well why we need specialists in each discipline. Regarding the kites, the trigger will be the next release. We have decided to keep the bandy for 2 seasons because it's a huge development to rebuild a new bandy every year. And regarding the mass of product we have to develop now, we think that the bandies, S and bandit, they can last for 2 seasons easily. So Charles is in charge of the trigger, and he's doing some nice improvement, and is almost ready. So we believe it will be ready before the end of the year. The wings, the swing will not change next year. We will have a new Strike V4. The CWC will stay the same, and we are trying to develop a new Strike with the new material. So I cannot give really a precise date today because it depends from the long-term testing now of the new materials. We don't want to be in a hurry and get problem of broken wings and having a lot of claims. So we are always in balance between the innovation and be sure the material will last. But we will have a Strike V4 during next year coming out with some new materials. The goal with new materials is to save a little bit of weight, but as well bring some highest performances. We have a new high-tech Dacron 220 grams. We were using 178 grams last year. So we go for more heavier Dacron. Regarding the boards, this year we will change all the rockets. So we have some new volume. Sizes are the same, but we have gained some volume. So on the S, we have had as much volume as we could without losing the control of the foil. So we are about like 5 or 6 more liters than before. which is good, like a 4.6 with 41 liter. It's my favorite board, for example. We could add some more volume on the small size, but if you look at the 5.2 and 5.4 rocket wing S, they're the same volume as before. And we have a new development, and we are trying to do some rocket wing S size, like the 4.6 plus and the 4.8 plus, that are specially made for heavier people. So they are called XL for now. But we have realized that some people above 90 kilo, 100 kilo, they wanted to ride short board like 4.6 or 4.8, but the volume was too low for them. So we have had some volume for them. And of course, for people around 70 kilo, those boards, they will be too thick, and we will not be able to stick them into the water for the water start, and we will not have the weight to control them. But when we give those added volume to the heavier girls, they were so happy to be able to have a shorter board. So they are under testing, and if the people are above 90 kilo are happy of it, we will keep them into the range. We have reshaped the rocket wing as well. So they have a little bit more volume on the front, and this is good for the water start, but this is as well as really good for the freestyler, like Chris McDonald was doing the test for it, and he said that when he landed jump, it was good for him to have like more volume in the front. Because we have more volume there than behind, we have a small concave deck and a little bit more volume as well, because for freestyle they needed more volume to land and be able to restart quick instead of going under the water. So this year is a lot about more volume for the boards and some adjustment on the shape. We had some small adjustment on the rocker line too. Regarding foils, we have some new sizes because we realized that the bigger part of the market is more around 1,000, 1,200 and 1,400. So we had a demand for a bigger skate. So we have a 1150 coming. Of course, we have the jam, the pumping foil, and today we only have the 19, and we will have a 16 coming during the winter. The Eagle, we had to go from 1090 to 1290, and now we have 1190 in between. It's an important size for downwind also. Like for myself, the 1290 was always too big, and it was lifting too much for myself, and the 1090 was too small, so I'm happy to have something in between. Of course, we are looking for performances, and the aspect ratio is an important part of the performance. So we have some 12 aspect ratio coming. We call them Eagle X. So the small size of the Eagle will be replaced next year by the X, and we have a 700, 800, 900, and 1000. I had a demand yesterday for smaller, so maybe we will add a 600. I was going fast because we only have half an hour. But now we have some place about some question, and it's always nice to keep some minutes for the question. I don't know how much we have. Oh, we have 10 minutes. So I think one of the questions could be the swing and the strike. You know, what is the spirit behind and what are really the difference? The swing just arrived, so most of the people don't know them really well. So giving you some information, I think it's important. Um, when you have a design team, yes?
Can you talk more about the new masts, the difference between the old mast and the new
Yes, sure. Um, it's the same thickness as before, but the main difference is now that the top plate is included into the mast. So we have already a better connection from the top plate to the mast root by having it in one piece. That's the first big difference. So you have a better control of the mast already coming from the top plate. We have a new carbon layer inside, a new construction, so the UD fiber have a different orientation than before. And even if it is same thickness, the performances are really impressive. Even myself, testing it, I was really surprised by how much speed we have gained without changing the profile of the mast. So when you add control, then you are more comfortable to go fast. The pumping is more efficient. When you push on the board, the mast is reacting and giving really the right energy to the foil. So when you jump on it, you cannot believe how much different there is. So this is for the 14 millimeter. And the 16 is as well really surprising. The weight, performances, cost is really good on the 16 millimeter mast. Yes? Yeah, we could add a 7.5. We have people like for downwind, they look for shorter mast, so we can do a 7.5. Shortly we will add like every size that we needed. It's before when we could glue the top plate on the carbon mast. We had one mold and we could cut every lens. But now we need a mold per lens. So it's 100% carbon in all the mast. The difference is the high modulus carbon that we have in the 14. Yes. Yes, yeah. No, it was full carbon always. The HM. I think when you have expensive HM carbon, what you do is that you really put it at the outside. The inside layer, it's like too expensive to use it. But I will ask and I will tell you. I don't remember that. Sorry. Yes? Yes. We have started 1 year ago only when we seeded those new boards, and we have tried some models, and I was really surprised by the stability. It was so difficult. So our first goal was to gain some stability. So we have a pretty wide nose compared to the first generation of board that you can see around, and as well a little bit of wideness on the tail. So the goal is to have as narrow as you can in the center, because the wideness is slowing you down when you paddle. So if you could go 18 on the center, it's really important. But keep some width on the front, and the tail is helping you keeping the stability. As well, when you see the hole in front of you, it's good to be able to push on the nose and dive into the hole and get some speed. So that's why we have a little bit of volume and wideness into the front. So that's all speed. Of course, after that, you need the right balance between the wideness and the thickness, because if you go too thick, then it's unstable. And you need the right water line, and you need the right construction to be able to be light and strong enough. So we have used all the experience we had from SUP in the past for racing boards or carbon wave board, and so pretty fast we could get the right construction and be able to have a lightweight board that is strong enough.
lines to do more foils. The Eagle's going to have that.
Yes,
More
yeah.
foils that will get that skate.
The monoblock tail is one part of the success, a big part of the success from the skate. It's really impressive when you jump from the adaptable system to the monoblock. The stability you gain is really a lot, and you gain a lot of speed. So slowly we will change all the models, Eagles, and they will have all the monoblock. And if you try, for example, a Phantom with the stabilizer from the skate, you will not recognize the Phantom. It's changing a lot.
Oh wow, just a smaller.
Yeah, just the tail. You take it from your skate, you put it on a Phantom, and it's like a new Phantom. Yeah. Yeah, foil is a lot of design, profile, and hydrodynamics, but 50% of it is about construction, connection, where you put the carbon, which way you put it. It's a big part of the work and a big part of the result. Yes?
With all the downwind boards coming into the market, are you going to take the stance that swingers who want a light wind board are buying the 80-meter downwind board? Or do you feel like those shapes are going to mitigate, like migrate into the wing boards?
Yeah, they fully go into wing discipline for light wing. It's really impressive the amount of people burning the board for only winging.
Yeah.
And if you come to me and say, I want the boards and I will only do winging, then you go for small volume. You can go for 6 something. But if you say, okay, I'm gonna wing and surf, then you have to go for more volume to be able to start and paddle with them. But we said, I was surprised, some boards are going to Switzerland on the lakes, and people love them, you know. Sometimes you have to go out of a bay to catch some wind or out of the harbor and things like this. And it's fantastic to have some length and some speed and some volume to be able to cruise around before you are flying. I'm so happy this is happening in our sport, because the tendency to be the king of the beach because you have a 30 liter and a 4.4 was kind of tricky for the future of the sport. If you show up with 100 liter and this is fashion, it's really good. It's a really good image, so we want to push it more and more, and we are so happy that all those new disciplines are coming, for sure. With Julien, we think that the best of the best is doing downwind. Now, like, downwind is becoming more fun for us than surfing with a foil or without a foil. So it's a big change. And it's such a passion to be alone on the ocean, surfing, no one around you, that we really love it. Yes? Yeah. The problem when you go for really high aspect ratio is when you go around 1000 and above, the span is becoming so, then you lose a lot of the turning. So for now, the X, they will replace the small size, but the Eagle above 1000, they will remain the same. No, slowly they will disappear. And our first test with the X, we were really surprised how they can get on the plane with the wing. They're super easy to get on planing. The glide is, oh, maybe I'm too far from the glide is super good. So they will slowly replace all the Eagle, and everybody will go to the X without any problems. Andrew?
Going back and telling us the design characteristics of the strength of the swing.
Yes, sure. If you look at the design, the differences are not huge. For sure, the swing have a less span. when I see my friend at home, and if you are like not tall, it's really important to be able to have a swing, because you don't have to ride with your arms too far. So that's the first difference between the two wings. What we have speak a lot about the strike being freestyle, and the swings, like swing is more for wave riding, but of course doing free fly with the strike is still really good, the difference is not huge. The bigger difference, and what I love into the swing, is the speed control that you have. The strike is built to go fast and have really high acceleration, so when you go fast, accelerate fast, and you want to transform this into jumps, it's really effective. If you love to go fast and you love to race with your friends, then the strike is for you. But what I like into the swing is to go slow and like be comfortable, because you don't have those big accelerations. So a lot of people and a lot of our customers that cannot control the foil through all the shops, because everything is like too fast. They will love to ride with the swing and be a little bit slower. Slower doesn't mean that you lose performances upwind, because the swing is doing a really good angle, but with a lot of speed control. So you have a lot of angle and you can go upwind fast to be able to free fly and come back. So it's a different machine, and it's really two different feelings. But for me, the bigger difference is the speed. Speed control is really good with the swing. But yesterday I was trying some other wings, and I'm always surprised by the forward pull that we have on our models compared to some other wings that are pulling more like sideways. And that forward pull that we have into our wings, it's like a drug. For me, it's like so essential. Yes.
What would you say your sales are when you go from strike to CWC to swing? Percentage-wise,
The sales, the swing just arrived, so it's hard to really be sure what the market share will be, but for me the ideal will be 50-50 between the swing and the strike. It's a good percentage. If I am a shop and I have to do some orders, I will go 50-50 next year. 50% for strike performance, 50% for comfort and wave riding style for the swing. And the CVC, it really depends from your spot. If you're in Switzerland and it's light wind, then we sell a lot of CVCs. And if you are like more south of France and it's really windy, it's a little bit less. So some place will sell more CVC. I'm not sure about the percentage between the strike and the CVC on the market. It really depends from the spot.
I feel like when you guys swing came out, it never was obviously the hottest wave on the market. And then when the name changed, and it changed when the strike came out, then it seemed like, at least from my vision, basically everyone wanted the strike. And then the swing really fell off. And yet the swing could be a better way for my customer, but they didn't want the strike.
Yeah, this will change, because the two wings, they will have a high image. It's not like the strike is the highest image and the swing is for beginner. The swing is really some of our riders, they will only use the swing for wave riding. So I think it will be 50-50 in the future, and people will. I can ride a strike in 5 square meters, because in light wind you like to have performances, But if I go into the storm, I will switch to a 4 or 3 or 2.5 swing, because then I will look more for the comfort and the performances. So it might change from the smaller size to the bigger size. We will learn all this in the coming months. the big question I have today is getting on the plane. The sport is only 4 years old, and we have riders that are really good, but we still have beginners. And those beginners, sometimes they say, why don't you have a swing V1? Because that swing V1 was the killing machine to learn the sport, get on the plane. So we are right now thinking about adding a model that will be based about like the swing V1 or swing V2 or strike V1, something that is easy to start with and something that is not like for high performances. So we are working on that. So that's a small information I give you today.
Would the lower price point like an SCT flow?
The problem on wings is that we don't have like fiberglass and carbon. We only have Dacron and polyester canopy, so it's hard to have something cheaper. But we try to manage to have a little bit lower price for that product. But as well, I don't want that model as a low-cost beginner image. You know, it's like the spirit from the beginning of the sport, and it was like having fun with your wife and your kids and riding maybe not every week, but one weekend during once in a while, and you should not be like a low cost. It's like a different spirit that I would like to offer, because like we have to follow the top riders, you know. The demand is high and they are looking for more performance. Everyone on every spot wants to jump higher and things, but we have to think about the people that are getting into the sport too. So we will end up maybe with 5 wings model next year, because if we have the entry level model, the swing, the strike with highest material and even more performance, and the CVC. So it's a challenge. You didn't know that. I think we have to stop. Sorry guys, but we are at the beach every day. So if you have more questions, we are there to answer. So Julien has to do the panel presentation. Thank you so much.